Alright, this is part 2 to the concept art. We're looking at the book and the locations on this one. Art director's comment. The concept for the picture book was based on a pop-up books from Japanese torn paper pictures. The key colors of the village are antique gold, metallic black, and snow white. All of these were used in the picture book. The concept of the family in the picture book was, of course, Ethan, Mia, and Rose. The hair color matches grown-up Rose in the final version. Dude, I even noticed that. Each creature was, each creature in the book was based off of one of the four lords, too. Look, this one was Matress. Concept art for the Bat Lord in the picture book. The white of its fur was based on Dimitrescu. And the three Bat Blacks are her daughters. Oh my god, I didn't even catch the the other bats in the cutscene. The vampire bat imagery is a hint at the connection to Dracula, Monroe, and Benevito. The designs of the Fish King and Dark Weaver were based on Monroe and Benevito, respectively. These two look most like the collector's edition, the map that I'll be getting. Um, this one, most typically. Donna didn't have a transformation, but this is what it looks like in the map. Concept for Iron Steed and Witch are based off Heisenberg and Miranda. Dude, I swear these are those little icons on the map, because they had an Iron Steed there too. Although the only one that was different is the bat. Oh wait, no. Miranda. I don't think she was on the map. But yeah. Village Witch. Updated concept. In the scene where the girl is taken under the full moon is the same as the game story. I didn't notice that. That's a cool connection. Concept art for when the girl and her mother go in the forest in the picture book. Girl gets lost in the forest in the picture book. Father and mother go in the forest to save their daughter. Father fighting the witch and the mother speaking with her daughter. In the end, that's exactly what happened. They escaped while she tried to deal with Miranda. Concept art from Prologue Village where technically we all know, if you've seen my other videos, we all know that is Miranda. But picture on the book is different. It's not this cover. It's the actual crest, which if I saw that, I thought something would have been sus to start with. Mia's murder. Dude, the fact that Chris told Ethan nothing of what was happening, that was just, poorly thought, dude, on Chris's part. This creator used the key visualization of the team during development to get an idea of Ethan's hands and perspective on events. That was cool. The fight with the Lycans. This was an intense battle. I didn't know what I was doing at first. Development of the village was a lot of trial and error, but it's always gonna be a survival horror game. Hold up a second. I'm back. Development of the village was a lot of trial and error, but there was always going to be a survival horror game, and was how the Lycans were created. I was surprised at the fact that they rode horses. View of the village. View of the mountains towering above the village below was drawn to there at the first day of the development. I wanted to create an impact different to the horror being trapped inside a house. Like an RE7, we used the tall, overbearing mountains to give the game an isolated, haunted village feel. That wasn't in the final product though, was it? No, it wasn't. Dude, I barely played RE7 a week ago because I found it free through PlayStation Plus or PlayStation Now. But dude, I hated being trapped in that small house. The whole entire time, I hated that. Cabin in the woods. The concept of the cabin was created to demonstrate the entire team will let Vernon Corn say where we're going to go for in this game. Windmill. Large windmill lives over the graveyard. That wasn't in the original game. The windmill was Monroe's place. Oh, the village castle. The gate connecting the village to the castle Dimitrescu. A relief of the gate shows a young maiden saving the village from a terrible demon long ago. Yep, that's pretty accurate. Louise's house, one concept art to Louise. Scarecrow is nothing special, but there are a number of goat bone constructs erected towards the wall, erected to wall off evil. Lycans are savage wild beasts, but we also want to convey that they are pack creatures. Getting the right balance of intelligence and nature in this image, as well as in the game, was one of our biggest challenges. I think they pulled it off well. They like to fight in the pack. Director's comment. Concept of Ethan, his trial, Miranda and Lord began to use his face for trials in the past, judgment on heretics. From left to right, we already know them. Their mannerisms, their position and mannerisms reflect their status and personalities. Vineyard. Concept art of vineyard outside the castle in Dimitrescu. Oh. Which Dimitrescu uses to wine. You can see that her daughter is dragging a victim from the village to the castle. Ugh. There's a go of warding I missed in this place. I got 7 out of 20 during the whole playthrough. To go again. Let me know if you guys are interested, by the way, if you want me to do a live stream on Twitch of my attempt at the 3-hour run. Concept art for Dimitrescu's dressing room. Tasting room under a cellar dishes drained of the blood which she used to make her wine. Ooh. Dimitrescu under the castle. She never went down here. Dimitrescu looking wine in her wine cellar as Ethan crawls through tunnels under the castle. That is an interesting concept that never made it through. See how tall she is compared to that door. Room filled with chairs and works of art was where the labyrinth was originally going to be located. They ended up placing it near Duke's Emporium. Death mask statues. The left is one of the statues of Angel Mask. The right is the concept for iron insignia key on the door. Room for Lady Lord, blah 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 blah. The Lord leads the villagers of the dry cups which he passes to the servant who presents the final product to our lady. Okay. The room where the four statues, the lady, the lord, the servant, and the farmer stand. The lord bleeds the villagers dry of their crops as he passes to the servant and presents the final product to her lady. Huh. That is freaking creepy. Oh my god, you can see her staring through. Dimitrescu's sheet. They came up with number signs for keys balanced with a feminine design. I'm not gonna say that again. The final version was selected for its unique silhouette. Dimitrescu. There's almost Matter's powder and Dimitrescu's key. Her claws. Shamsu uses long claws like nails to create havoc in her dungeons. That's a badass picture of her. Castle rooftop. Tower of Worship. Final tower of the castle where Ethan could fight Dimitrescu. This area was initially going to be used as a storeroom for period of weaponry, but turned out to be a church. Alright. The dagger. Knife was used against Dimitrescu, which caused her to transform into a giant creature. The story behind this dagger is that it was once used by a man long ago to try to kill Dimitrescu. She sealed it away in a tower with his corpse because it was still a threat to her. The blade with the most unique shape and design with flowers was chosen to be the final design. Dude, that's some interesting lore piece that the game didn't tell you, or I didn't find in the game. Fogs Valley. Oh, the way to her Benevito's garden. The entire house around the house Benevito where Dunnan and dogs lived was covered with thick fog. Wishly thought listening where Ethan is trying was chased with enemies across the road, bench panning a valley and back to the village. That would have been an interesting scene to play through. Did it end up happening? Benevito's garden, Benevito's flower bed, large flowerbird, grass, Donna surrounded it with smaller graves and her dolls nestled between them. Donna uses yellow flowers to make people hallucinate and see visions. That's probably where he smelled it and got the hallucination from. Huh. Creepiest looking house ever. Looking around the layout, the house has changed much since concept art was created. Art and development, we took a lot of care in creating a high quality scene. They did a wonderful job. Doll Workshop. No, I hate dolls. That's how Angie used to be. Damn. Alright. Dolls Mia. Chinese puzzle box. It's actually going to be a doctor's house. The doll was originally going to be a corpse that looked like Mia. Concept art for a scene where Ethan runs into Mario, searching for corpses to run his experiments. What experiments did Monroe do? Like, what was his experiments on? It doesn't really explain anything. Windmill. How Ethan would get the windmill into the underground, we decided very early on. Concept art where Ethan meets Monroe, you can see Heisenberg's factory far away in the distance. Monroe was always going to be creepy, wasn't he? Initial thought was this would be a European vision village, but this provided too difficult, so we decided to go with a generic flooded village instead. But this proved too difficult, so we decided to go with a generic flooded village instead. Huh. Windmill crank, this crank to use the windmill. Decorated with legendary sea creature, the Kraken. This is the one that broke, isn't it?
Yep.
The sluice gate. The water draining from giant sluice gate was meant to needed on the side. Flooded, unflooded area to go aside with it. Plan was to get early development with even more needed plus sluice gate in order to reduce foul collecting all the crests. But they had that bridge just had cave with paintings. Four kings, chalice in the center. He's the founders of the village once protected the chalice. Since chalice is placed in dials, this design for the winged clay is closely connected to the village crest. It's in Japanese. I don't know how to read that. Key to ruin to the right. To the right is the route to Benevito's house, and to the gate is the path to the ruins with four key statues. Crossroads with circular dials in the center. It's all four. It's a game opening up. Signals the game opening up. Yeah, this was really the turning point where you unlocked more of everything. BSAA. We had a design left over from Resident Evil 7 with only minor change. The emblem logo. So what? This is Blue Umbrella. The hydration plaque equipped to the back is a unique design. They're using bioweapons when they drop down, supposedly. These are now rotted and ruined organizations are using soldiers created with new technology. That's going to be seen in the sequel. Hopefully we'll see more of this. The mill. Oh, this is where we had that mini boss fight with that giant. And once I defeated that giant, I'm like, oh, well, let me just go back and finish the other one in your beautiful garden. Overrun with lichens who turned into the lair. Wasn't really overrun with lichens when I got there, but yeah, it's a cool design. Stronghold 1. Stronghold 2, deep in Lycan's lair. Even early on, we wanted to fight in a tall open space. This was an interesting fight. Bridge ruins. Sturm attack. Sturm chasing Ethan down in their quarters, destroying everything in its way. Great Cavern. Concept for Heisenberg kicking Ethan down a hole with a giant cavern under the factory. While he was working too. Casting machine. Foundry. With the casting machine. This room was once only used for casting iron, but Heisenberg ended up utilizing it for close experiments. The room links to other hidden engine room. So that jet, those are the early designs. One for a design that had a powerful looking horse on them one. Each key has its crest built into it. Started the battle with Heisenberg. Concept for the flow of events leading up to the battle with Heisenberg. We pictured Ethan falling into the pit around dusk and returning from it to dark, stormy night. General layout events didn't change much from early development, except we had a run and it was crisp before that happened, but yeah. Mutated Heisenberg Fight 1. The only difference is that in the final version Heisenberg is not defeated using a falling transmission tower. Fight 2. We figured Heisenberg's yard would be full of scrap and vehicles which he uses during the fight. The fight was going to commence with the self-propelled artillery. I figure that Heisenberg's urine. Hold scrap, yeah, right there. Chris's section. Piece of concept art fishing featuring Chris Redfield was intended to depict a three-way battle between Chris, the BSAA, and Lycans. Wait, he would have been fighting the BSAA in the middle of it? That's a cool shot. I'm probably gonna be a thumbnail for this video. Hey, you don't know. Village consumed by mold. Mold slowly consuming the village under a blood-red crimson moon as Samurai reaches its climax. As Miranda starts a ceremony, plant-looking tendrils of mold begin to overrun the lichens, and the village is thrown into chaos. The Metamycete. Chris finds the giant Metamycete in some ruins. It's a giant clump of parasites which have grown together in a disturbing shape. Looks like a fetus. To reveal that everything started here, with this being the center of the mold networks. It has been spreading its roots through hundreds of years before Miranda found it and used its power to make herself into a powerful leader. Dude, I hope in RE, the next Resident Evil, number 9, because this is 8, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is 8. I hope it explains more of this. Like, I don't feel we got enough lore of the Metamycete. Metamycete. Concept behind this was that this was Ethan's last stand. Here, Miranda transformed into the Hag. Would use Rose for a ceremony. Oh shit! I fought her in the ceremony site with the kings that collapsed and mold stuff. I don't realize I fought her in this. Mold tendrils have grown over the 4 king statues and almost look like wings. Yeah, I didn't realize that those were the 4 king statues. Miranda's fight. Concept art for Ethan fight with Miranda on a mold-covered cinema set. We wanted to think about how enemies in the village would look like from a first-person perspective. Key visualizations like these were essential for picturing the gameplay. That's very interesting how they pictured it. She still looks creepy. To think that that crown around her is now coming from her spine. Ooh. Her spider form. Her wing form. And the Metamycete. Cut art for Ethan's finale when Ian and Chris escape the village. However, Miranda is now absorbed into the giant parasite and goes berserk, trying to stop Rhodes from escaping. She looks like the village symbol with parasite and feathers. So, technically, that was Miranda at the end, not the Metamycete. So she was more powerful than the Metamycete. The Metamycete didn't have a consciousness. So, in the end, she became a consciousness and used it to try and stop them. But she couldn't do much. Although, from what I'm reading, Ethan survived at the end. But in this, he didn't. If I'm sure. Epilogue Round 1. Rose has grown up and reading in picture books of her parents used to read to her when she was young. She has a bouquet of flowers for Ethan's grave. So he's already going to be dead in the end. No matter what. He's going to die in this one. Alright. Chris gave Ethan's jacket and ring. Epilogue 2. She goes to Ethan's grave after watching a mother and child, but she talks to her dad at his grave as she spots a man who looks like a security guard. Weapon designs. So that gun that I was using becomes that one down there. It's pretty cool. I love this top one, Wolfsbane, the Magnum. Sad we didn't use it more and had more ammo for it, but that was pretty powerful. Came useful in Miranda's fight. Heisenberg's homemade weapon with a self-propelled artillery equipped with a recoil gun. We also had a large engine with supercharger. We ended up making the treads much larger in-game than what we originally intended. We're back to the beginning. It's really explained a lot more of everything. Although we got a huge info dump in the what it feels like at the end was when we played as Chris. It's nice to have a little bit more, like that was like a lot of info they gave us at the end. I think these two are females. It's good to have it more thought out and explained a little bit more about the characters. I wanted to see more of Dimitrescu. Kind of feel, but in a way, I feel bad for each and every character. They can have, I hate this wholeheartedly. I hate this, but each of them have their own grounded backstory. And Mama's boy over here. Actually, it was a sad ending. I didn't expect it to be this sad. That was a fun journey. Want to play it again 2 more times later on. Probably be streaming it on Twitch. My playthrough. The Village of Shadows. Resident Evil 8. Village. So I'm gonna end it right here. See you in the next one.